Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now we're going to do another walk and talk video because I get so many good comments and you really seem to enjoy it. So let's do another one. Now we're about 10 miles or 15 kilometers south of Pattaya here, in a really traditional small Thai fishing village called Ban Amphur. You see all the fishing boats there, and you'll see more coming in and out as we have a walk round. We're going to have a walk all around the village, up to the pier and back, and around the market area, and have a good walk round somewhere you would not normally see, and show you that while we have a chat. And the chat is about having a Pattaya girlfriend and having a steady girlfriend, but controlling the relationship by putting boundaries in place. You understand? Allowing them, tell them what they can do and what they cannot do, and that's it. Now, let me just, before we start the chat, let me show you on the map where we are. Now, if you look, there's Pattaya City at the top, and then further down is Ban Amphur. So here we are, the end of one of the piers, jetties, which there are two or three sticking out into the sea. There's Pattaya over there. You see in the distance, you see that's Jomtien, then in the far distance is Pattaya. Okay, so we'll turn around. I'll just show you around the place, and then we'll have a walk down, back down the jetty, and then through the market and everything. But the reason I wanted to do this video is because I know several guys who have relationships, very steady relationships, almost like being married, very steady relationships, living with Thai girls. And the problem is, as I see again and again, is they allow the girls to take control. And it ends up costing them money more and more. Now, this is what this is about. I'm trying to tell you guys, don't do that. It's not a good idea. It's a simp's way of living. Don't do it. You take control, okay? Now, what you find when you live here is most guys play around for the first few months or even a year or more. But as time goes by, eventually the guys get bored with it. And they find a girl they really like, and they make her their girlfriend. Now, it happens from time to time that the girl that you click with best of all is often a little older, more likely to be in her 30s rather than her 20s. If you're a retiree or you're slightly older, that's usually what happens. Now, what happens with some guys is that they're too weak, and as time goes on, they'll end up financing the girl's family. And when I say family, I mean not only the parents, which is acceptable, but and maybe one or two children, but she also has brothers and sisters and stepbrothers and stepsisters and grandparents and the entire family, basically. And that is what happens. Now, some guys can end up broke because they just can't say no to the girl. And it's tragic. I see it happen. I've seen it happen. Those guys should never have come to Pattaya in the first place because they're too weak. What you have to do is set boundaries when you first get involved with a girl. Now, in Pattaya, for example, the state pension in Thailand, I should say, is an absolute joke. It's pitiful. It's not even worth talking about. It's so poor. And as people get older, they have to rely on their children to survive, to exist, to live. This is the truth. I'm talking about poor people. It's completely different from life in the West, where you have social care and proper pensions. In Thailand, there's nothing worth speaking of in that respect. So all of the younger Thai generations, both guys and girls, but mostly girls, feel an obligation to take care of their parents. Their parents took care of them when they were babies, that's the way they see it, and now as the parents are getting older and often can't work, and can't earn money and don't have income, then it's their obligation to take care of the parents. This is with poor families, obviously, which is a lot of people in Thailand are poor, you know. Um, if you have a Thai girlfriend, a proper, steady Thai girlfriend, then you must understand she has this obligation to take care of her parents if they're poor, and she will do it. You have no choice but to accept it. She has no choice but to do it. That is Thai culture. You obviously should have nothing to do with the rest of her family, just her parents, and maybe she may have one or two children from a previous relationship if she's in her 30s. But she has to take care of them. And if you're her steady boyfriend and you're living together, you will have to help. But you have to set boundaries. This is the most important thing. And make it clear that you can help with, say, X amount of money each month, which is what is normal, yeah, but no more. Now, you do sometimes hear about some Phalangs who end up broke because they kept giving money to the girlfriend's family, to brothers and her sisters and all the rest of it. They whole help the family to rebuild the house or build a new house, and even her sister's house and all that rubbish. It's just absolute stupidity. And the reason is because the Phalang fell into a trap. Now, that's what happens when you start a serious relationship with a girl. And if you don't set boundaries, you have to set them, yeah? And make sure she understands exactly what you will and will not accept in the way of extra payments here and there. Now, in general, the extra money should be small amounts for small things for the father or mother, or maybe if she has a child or two, maybe school uniform or something like that. But small amounts, you know. Now, there are exemptions to this occasionally. I'll give you an example. There's a girl I've known for 5 years or so, and she's been a friend with benefits for that amount of time, about 5 years. And she spoke to me not long ago and said that her father was very, very ill with lung cancer in hospital in Rayong, and can I help her? So I actually took her down to Rayong and went to the hospital and saw the father on a ventilator and all the rest of it. I mean, it wasn't a good scene, I can tell you. He was in a bad way. And I spoke to the doctor, and the doctor said to me, quite matter of fact, he said it's a matter of a few days and then he'll be gone. So I know this is absolutely the truth what the girl was telling me. You know, it's no scam. And the girl asked me after he'd passed. She didn't have any money to pay for the funeral in Thailand. It is their obligation. And could I give her 20,000 baht to pay for the funeral? And I did do, because I know it's the truth and I know it's the right thing to do. If you should be able to help a friend in need if it's that sort of serious and that important, and you know it's genuine. So that's something like that is an exception to these rules, these boundaries. Okay. So going back to boundaries, so maybe you start living with a Thai girl, and everything's going well for 2 or 3 months, and then what can happen with some families, not all, but with some families, they'll hear the girl has a Phalang boyfriend who they assume is very wealthy, and they start to pressurize the girl. They'll say to the girl something like, oh, the tractor's broken down and it needs repairing and we don't have the money. Can you get your boyfriend to pay to repair the tractor? Things like that. That's what can happen and will happen if you're in a relationship. Now, if the girl is just a steady girlfriend, then the answer should be a no. Simply no. I'm sorry, I don't just give money away like that. Now, if you've gone further and you're actually married to the girl, it would be different. You'd probably consider it and say, okay, just this once, it's just one-off case, then maybe okay. But if then you start to get regular requests, then you have to start saying no, no. But going back, if it was a girlfriend, then you're simply saying no. Now that really puts pressure on her, because her family will say, well, I thought he was your boyfriend. Doesn't he love you? Doesn't he want to help with your family? He's not a good man if he won't help. And she'll get all that in her ear from her family. Now she's in the middle, getting pressure from her family and to a degree from you. What you have to say to her is, look, our priority is me and you, and our budget comes first. And tell her, if her family asks again, then she must respect what her boyfriend decides, her boyfriend's decision. And she loves her boyfriend and will abide by his decision, not nag him for money. Now, the family should then stop asking. I mean, some won't. And this is what she has to say to her family. As if they keep asking for money beyond the X amount of money that you'd agreed to give her in the first place. And she needs to understand that you are the boss. You are the decision maker. And only if you think there's a very good reason will you consider giving any extra money, but only on special occasions, and not to ask regularly. Now, if she doesn't accept this, if she keeps nagging and keeps pushing, then you know where the balance is. You know you come second, which with a lot of girls will be the case. You don't want a relationship where you come second. You have to then decide what your future is with her. Maybe it needs to finish. The last thing you want is a relationship where her family are continually draining you of money. It needs to finish if that's the case. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the chat and the walk around. Like the lady said, please subscribe, like, share, ring the bell. And thank you very much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me if you did. Thanks a lot, guys. See you in the next video.